Ric Bucher covering the NBA for 20 years in the Bay Area. By the way, I might as well, did you, let's talk about the losers first, the Celtics. Did we learn anything? Okay. Do they need to make a major overhaul? What is your takeaway this morning with Boston moving forward?
I don't believe that they need to make a major move. Could they add a piece, a Mike Conley, a Monte Morris, a facilitating point guard? That would be a nice addition. But honestly, in looking at this series, I felt that they were, at least on paper, the better team. To your point, they simply had never been there before, and that experience won out in a big way. I saw it already in the Miami Heat series, that they didn't understand the urgency and the execution necessary in order to win a championship. I'm not ready to blow it up or change it dramatically simply because they fell one step short. I want to give this team a chance to at least prove that it learned from its mistakes. Okay. But they need to stop thinking about Jayson Tatum as this superstar that you just hand the ball to, that because he wears Kobe Bryant's sweatband, that he's Kobe Bryant. When they were a facilitating, move the ball around, everybody gets to eat type of offense, the Warriors had a hell of a time stopping them. They got whatever they want, and their defense has already been proven. So that's why I say give them a chance. Let's not overreact simply because they fell to a previously three-time champion team.
Now, it looks like the Warriors are going to be good for a long time. Any concerns going forward? Can you bring the whole team back? The whole team?
I'm not often worried about somebody else's finances, but this team is already really expensive. And the ability to keep all the pieces together, we see this with championship teams all the time. I wouldn't take it as a harbinger that Kenny Atkinson decided that Charlotte wasn't going to give him personnel decisions or be able to pick his staff, and he decided to stay with the Warriors as an indicator that everybody is going to stay no matter what. Kevon Looney, Gary Payton, Otto Porter, a lot of the contributing pieces, there's a good chance that they're going to be offered. Even Jordan Poole, beyond his rookie contract, they're going to be offered a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Joe Lacob is going to have to make a difficult decision. Do I want to pay this exorbitant luxury tax in order to keep all these pieces together? And even more important, are these guys going to be willing to stay if it's in an ancillary role? That's going to be the biggest challenge going forward.
Yeah.
Is like, how do you massage as Jordan Poole gets better, Klay Thompson kind of taking a step back? Steph Curry, where does he fit in all of this? Draymond Green, where does he fit in the equation with Andrew Wiggins? Like, the dynamics and the chemistry of this team, while that has been one of the hallmarks of the Warriors and why they've had all the success, it's going to be tested here as these young guns step up and get better and want to get paid. And are the old guns going to want to step aside or make room for them? That's going to be the challenge.
Well, the great advantage has always been in when you have a culture, a great culture, is that players are better with you than they would be for other places. Randy Moss was never better than New England. Before and after wasn't the same player. So Jordan Poole's the interesting one. I like Jordan Poole. But there's an argument to be made. He doesn't play with a lot of pressure with the Warriors, that he'll be best as a Warrior. And that with Moses Moody, Steph, and Klay, you just let him go and make his money. You helped you get a ring, but you need Peyton's defense. Moses Moody's a huge talent. So I think, to your point, that's the advantage of building a great culture, is you can sell or move players and get incredible things in return because you elevate everybody. Wiggins right now could go for a lot in the market, and the truth is he was a 1. It didn't work. He's a better 3. I want to move to this. A story today by Shams Charania that Kyrie, the Brooklyn Nets, are at an impasse. Now, I believe KD's aware of this. I think he has verbalized this to the front office and ownership that, come on, man, you got me Simmons now, I got Kyrie. That's a lot of question marks going into a season, and I'm like in year 17. What do you make of the story? Whenever a story gets out, Rick, somebody wanted the story out to either humiliate Kyrie. What do you make of the situation now with Kyrie, the Nets, and impasse in the reporting?
Yeah, it's that, look, we're in the market for moving Kyrie. If in case anybody didn't get that from the post-season press conference that Sean Marks had, where he said, we've got decisions to make and Kyrie's got decisions to make. Look, I don't know that they would be completely opposed to having Kyrie back, but it would be on their terms. They're trying to wrest control of this franchise once again. And I don't believe that KD would go to them and say, there's too many question marks. I don't know that I can play with Ben Simmons and Kyrie. As much as it might be, he's seen the signals from them that they're ready and willing to move off of Kyrie if they can do a sign and trade, and KD is not opposed to that they're putting that out there. I don't know that KD would ever abandon Kyrie fully, but that's where I see this going, and I've seen it since, well, I kind of knew that the relationship wasn't very good at all. And then Sean Marks' comments after the season made it clear that it's like, Kyrie, you're either going to participate as we want you to participate, or we need to move off of this and move in a different direction. And the only way that they have any chance of making that happen with Kyrie is if they have him on a short leash. And if he is reluctant to go that direction, hence you have an impasse.
All right, so I see this Ric Bucher's top 10 players of all time. I saw this list this morning. Now,
yes.
I am a believer, when you make these lists, it has to be beyond just, hey, he scored a bunch of points. It's your impact, it's your influence. So I think my top 10 players all time, I don't think Tim Duncan had the influence. I think he was great, and he won championships. I don't think he had a ton of influence. Same with Akeem, he was great and has championships. I would put Steph Curry in my top 10. You, as a Bay Area guy, are obviously reluctant. Why isn't Steph, between changing the game, the best culture we've had in basketball now for 8 to 10 years, it is the culture of note in the NBA. He's won with KD, without him. You can't put him in there. What is your reluctance with Steph as a top 10 player all time?
Well, the first reluctance is, I need the hurrah around winning this title to subside. It's really easy in the afterglow of seeing Steph win his first finals MVP and lead them past the Celtics and be the best player in the series to say, okay, we've just been waiting to open the door. Let him in. We got to let him in. I want to let all of the emotions subside before I find... Look, he's on the cusp of my top 10. There's no doubt about that. And as far as changing the game and the influence and all of that, I hear you on that, but we're adding a new nuance to the top 10. Did Bill Russell change the game? Did every guy in your top 10 change the game? And I dare say that while Steph in the way he plays is truly unique and has inspired a lot of copycats, I still maintain that the Golden State Warriors changed the game. Now, they changed it by allowing Steph to play the way that he plays. But without Draymond Green, without Klay Thompson, without those three together and the way they work together, especially Draymond, he threw a completely new wrinkle in how to play. And it wasn't by design. They just kind of fell upon it. That opened the door for everything that they do, Steph Curry included. And so that's why I probably don't put as much emphasis on that as a lot of people, most people do, because I believe it was a result of what the Golden State Warriors built because they had a Steph Curry and they had a Draymond Green and they had a Klay Thompson. I mean, how many times in NBA history could we say you had two of the greatest all-time shooters on the same team at the same time? So that's why he's on the cusp. And I love everything that Steph has done. And not only his influence on the game, but he is, without question, he's in that Tim Duncan category of he's the reason that the Warriors have had their sustained success. But it's in a unique place because what makes him great is his willingness, his confidence, his willingness to take the big shot, but at the same time, his willingness to make room for others to shine. That is truly unique for a player of his caliber, and Tim Duncan had the same attribute.
I guess, you know what I'm going to do someday is the top 10 most important players. That, like, I think Dr. J was so important in the 70s when the league was a mess, and Dr. J came ABA to NBA. Magic and Bird make it. Jordan made it global. LeBron, obviously, because not only was he great, but the mobility. Steph, because he changed the game, made it more analytically driven. Kareem had the greatest shot, the most dominant single shot. Russell was part of the first dynasty. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do a top 10 most important. Now, they're all great, but not every great player's important. They're just great.
Right.
And that's what I'll do. You've initiated something in this small little thing above my shoulders that I'll...
I want to see if you're going to put Yao Ming in there.
Well, it wasn't great
Or
enough.
whether Hakeem goes up or down as a result of that.
Okay, all right.
Because it's the whole foreign aspect that you have to throw in there too, right?
Yeah, that's something to think about. All right. Yeah. Good seeing you, buddy. Ric
That's
Bucher.
it?
That's it. I gave you 10 minutes. This is a busy show. You ain't getting 20 here.
Hi, Joy.
All right, see you.
Hi, Rick.
Ric Bucher stopping by. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.